that the first one is solid, next one is liquid, and the last one is gas. طيب, what is you notice about the particles? The particles of the solid are very close to each other. The particles of the liquid have a spaces between them, a little bit spaces, small spaces between them. And the last one is the gas, has large spaces between them. Yes, for example, sorry, بس my okay. Now, طيب, you're gonna know about the properties of each one: solid and liquid and gas. That's gonna be the comparison. As we took, okay, in the shape بتاع solid, shape بتاع liquid, and shape of the gas. The shape of the solid is definite or fixed. What the meaning of definite? يعني it's a fixed, it's not changed. And for example, if you have an eraser or pencil in front of you, or your laptop, your mobile, if you move it to the other room, it's gonna change. It's going to change its shape. No, it will keep the same. So the solid has a fixed or a definite shape. It has no changing in the shape. Either we just add in it in either external conditions as heating or cooling. But I'm just moving from a place to another, it's don't change, the same. What about the liquid? The shape of the liquid. If I have a bottle of water and I want to put it in a different cups, do the cups will take the shape of the bottle? No. If I just pour this water on the floor, it will stand still and take the shape of the bottle? No. So the liquid has a no definite shape, has no fixed shape. الشيب بتاعها it's not fixed. It takes the shape of the container. Whatever this container is, what? Bottle, vase, glass, the floor, the ground, any container, it takes the shape of it. What about the gas? The gas that has an indefinite shape. Why indefinite shape? Because it takes the shape of any container empty. Yani if you have a bottle of water, you have half of it water, the rest of it gas. The room that you are sitting in it, all of it, all the empty spaces, gas. Your bag, the school bag or whatever your bag, the empty space in it is gas. Any empty space you have it, it's full of gas. So it has no a definite shape. It's no fixed shape. It takes the shape of any container. Fill any container, whatever it's big or small. Okay. What about the volume? The volume اللي احنا قلنا amount of it or the occupied space is solid. The same example of the pencil, eraser, or the desk, or whatever. If you get it outside, it will get smaller, bigger. It will never, right? It will still the same. So the volume of the solid is same or definite. So the solid has a definite shape and a definite volume, not change. That's related to the particles of them, okay? Because as you see at the first picture here, that their particles are very close to each other. So they move together. They move together, okay? As here, you see it, as here. Okay, as these shapes, you have seen that the particles move together because the particles are no spaces between them and they are held together strongly. Now, what about the liquid? The volume of the liquid is fixed or definite. Now, if you have 1 liter of the water, now you have on the bottle of the waters either 0.6 milliliters or 1 liters or whatever the fizzy drinks you bought it. You find the amount of the liters of it. طيب, okay, when you want to put it, مثلا, for example, this bottle of water in 2 cups or the 4 cups, according to what? To the amount of it. It will be less than 1 liter. It will be more if you add it in a beaker to be accurate in measuring or measuring cylinder. Okay, you will find it less than 1 liter. You find it 2 liters, for example. Then if I pour this water on the floor, it will be a huge amount of water. No, it will be just 1 liter. Okay, so the amount of liquid or the volume of the liquid is fixed. It's definite. It's don't change. Okay, 1 liter is 1 liters, 2 liters, 2 liters, wherever you put it on the ground, in different containers, and you can measure it by measuring cylinder. This one is more accurate than the beaker, so you can measure it with the measuring cylinder. You find it the same. Okay, what about the gas? The volume of the gas is indefinite because all the time the gas is flowing and moving randomly from one place to another. Okay, even if you are sitting in the room, the gas is flowing all the time and moving all the time, so it has no definite volume. The volume you cannot measure it. Okay, what about the arrangement of the particles? Okay, arrangement of the particles, how the particles are putting together. What about the solid? Here you can see this diagram in front of you. They are settled together, okay, in a packed together in a closely packed, and they are regular shape. What the meaning of regular shape means has a regular يعني شكل محدد, a square, a triangle, or whatever. It has a definite a regular shape. ليه شكل, it has a regular shape. Irregular shape يعني means has no shape. It's either has a protrusion from here or here. No, means it has no regular shape, okay? So the solid has a regular shape and they are closely packed together. What about the liquid? It has a irregular shape and there is a small spaces between them, but they are touching each other, okay? What about the gas? The gas an irregular shape and are far apart from each other. There's a large spaces between them. So again, the arrangement regular, irregular, and the solid you can add closely packed. Okay, and this is very important. It comes a lot in the past papers questions, and a lot of just students mix up between the arrangement of the particles and movement of the particles. Movement, the motion of the particles. Now, here at the solid, they are closely together packed, right? So how they gonna move? They're going to move as one unit, okay? So they're gonna move together. And how this movement will gonna be as vibrate. That this movement will be according to what? To the external conditions that gonna add it. Yani when they gain energy, okay, like heat. Now, so again, the arrangement of the solid is regular, closely packed. What about the movement? It's vibrate in a fixed position. Now the liquid. What about the liquid? Liquid, we said it's irregular shape. Okay, they have a spaces between them. So how their movement gonna be? They're gonna be slide over each other. They have to slide over each other. What about the gas? The gas, they have a large spaces between them. The gases move randomly and freely. Till now, anyone has any questions? Hur, do you have any questions?
No, teacher.
Okay. Mariam, Muhammad, Yusuf, Jana, you have any questions? Have you understand what I'm saying now about the arrangement and the movement?
Yes.
Yes, all of you? Yusuf and Muhammad, you didn't reply. Yusuf, Muhammad,
Yes, I understand.
understand? Okay,
Understand.
طيب. You can feel free if you don't understand anything, you can just tell me I want to ask. Okay, now, type. So now you understand the movement and um the movement of the particles and the arrangement of the particles. Now, what about the flowing? The flow of the particles from one place to another. Which one is can flow and which state of matter cannot flow? The easy to flow, the easy to flow, the liquid and gas. That's how, because they have a spaces between their particles, so they can flow. But the solid, no. If you drop a pencil on the floor, it gonna spread. لا. طب if you drop a water on the floor, it gonna spread away وهتلاقيها كده انتشرت و just making a flowing and move far away a little bit. You can see it moving, right? So that's how they flow. That's why also the water and the natural gas comes to our home in pipes. احنا بتجيلنا الغاز الطبيعي, okay, that's what we cook with it, and the water as in pipes. بس انت مثلا عمرك طلبت delivery and they told you you're gonna send it in a pipes? No. Okay, the solid cannot flow, cannot move spreadly and cannot spread and move freely. But the liquid, yes, that's why they send it to our home in pipes, and the natural gases too. Okay, so who can flow easily? The liquid and the gas. Compressibility, or ability to compress. Which one can be compressed easily? The gas. Why the gas? Because there are large spaces between them. I can compress them to add more gases. Okay, that's only the gas can be compressed. But what about the solid? The solid assassin no spaces between them to be compressed. It cannot be compressed. It's very hard to be compressed. What about the liquid too? Yeah, no, مثلا if you have a water, your water bottle, okay, and it's full, You can just add more when it's full. You can add more, you cannot add more, okay? Once it's full, خلاص, you cannot add more water because the water cannot be compressed. Okay, density. The word density, it's gonna, you will not have it as the physics, it's mass or volume. لا, it's the number of the particles at certain place. طيب مين اللي عنده number of particles كتير في certain place? Can you anyone tell me? We need to talk together.
Solid.
Solid. So which one is the high density? Is the solid. And next, which one has the less amount of particles in the place? Liquid. And the least one was the gas. Okay. طيب الاتراكشن force. Okay, attraction force اللي هي الفورس اللي holding the particles together. Let's see the particles again. اهي البارتكلز اهي. دلوقتي السوليد you are seeing it as one unit, regular shape. ليه regular shape وليه as one unit or just moving together وclosely packed وعنده definite shape؟ ليه كل ده؟ Because the force between the particles are very strong. ماسكين بعض جامد جدا. So the attraction force between the particles is very, very strong for the solid. What about the liquid? Do you have spaces between the particles? Yes. The particles can slide over each other. They are irregular shape. Yes. So they can move a little bit freely. Okay. That's why, because the attraction force between the particles are moderate. It's not weak and it's not strong. What about the gas? The attraction force between them is gonna be very weak. ليه؟ لأن كل particles move randomly, move freely, move in any place they want it. Okay. So the forces attraction between the particles very weak. في attraction force? Yes, في attraction force, but it's weak. Okay. طب what about the spaces between the particles? هنا في space between the particles؟ مفيش. It's gonna be neglectable. يعني not there's no space. What about the liquid? There's a spaces between the particles? Yes, a small space between the particles. What about the gas? There's a spaces between the particles? Yes, there are large spaces between the particles. So we talk about the attraction force, intermolecular space, and the density, the shape and the volume. طيب دلوقتي I said that the solid has a definite shape and the liquid has an indefinite shape and the gas has an indefinite shape and volume. طيب what about the solid when I heat the solid? حور.
Yes.
When I heat the solid, it will turn into
When he liquid.
liquid. This process called
Melting.
melting. Excellent, girl. طيب okay, and from liquid to gas?
Condensation.
From liquid to gas?
Evaporation.
Yes. And back from gas to liquid?
Condensation.
And from liquid to solid back?
Evaporation.
Liquid to solid, liquid to solid.
Liquid to solid.
Yes, when you add water in the freezer, what will happen to it?
Freezing.
Yes, excellent, girl. Okay. Thank you, Yahul. Now you have here the particles of the solid, and you change it to the particles of the liquid and change it to the particles of the gas. That's according to the particle theory or kinetic theory. طب ايه particle theory وايه kinetic theory? The particle theory just said in the matters have a very small particles. Okay, you have here see the solid, liquid, and gas melting, evaporation, and from gas to liquid condensation back, and from liquid to solid freezing. Okay, here as you move to this direction, okay, you're gonna increase the heat. طيب, return to the particle theory. The particle theory said that the matter has composed of very small particles, which is continuous in motion. The particles دي we can see it? لا. طب under microscopes? No. طب specific microscope, they are very, very, very مش عارفة electronic specific microscope, they can see it. It's not available يعني. طب how we trust that the words is correct or not? With the evidence of they said that the particles of the solid are held together strongly, or there's no spaces between them. The liquid have a little bit spaces, the gas have large spaces between them, because مثلا simply you cannot pass through the wall. Okay, so there's no space between the particles of the wall to pass through it, or any solid. So what about the liquid? If you move or walk between the part of between in the water, on the sea, or in the pool, whatever, you can walk, but it's a little bit difficult, right? Imagine you are moving between the spaces of these particles. There are spaces between the particles, but it's not big. You can move through it. What about the gas? You can move freely. That's mean really that the particles of the gas are very far from each other, move randomly, they are, have an irregular shape, or there are spaces between them, so it can move. So again, the matter is composed of very small particles that it cannot be seen. Right. In motion of these particles that move, it's related to the temperature, pressure, and the particles' weight. First, we're gonna take about the temperature. Okay. Next, this lesson, maybe at the end of this lesson, we're gonna take the pressure. Okay, and particles' weight next lesson. What about the temperature? How the temperature affect the motion of these particles? Okay, طب temperature ده when it's heat or cooling, right? Heat is an energy. طيب لما يبقى حد have an energy, he gonna move faster or slower يا جنى؟ جنى?
Yes, miss.
Okay, when you have an energy, gonna move faster or slower?
Faster.
Faster, fine. طب وانت when you move faster, you need someone beside you? ولا you push anyone beside you? يعني you love to Jana, hello.
Yes.
Okay, when you have an energy and move faster, you want somebody to stand beside you, or you want to move freely with no one beside you?
Freely with no one.
Yes, exactly. مش انت you love like this ولا لا? I'm just talking about you now. When you have an energy, you move faster, right?
Yes.
If anyone just hold beside you closely, you want to let him beside you, or you want to just push them a little bit?
Push.
Push them to move freely, right?
Yes.
Fine. طيب tell me يا Jana, the melting is changing from what to what?
From solid to liquid.
From solid to liquid. Okay. طب مريم.
Yes.
Yes, okay. You know that the melting is changing from solid to liquid, right? The common example
Yes.
is ice to water. Can you tell me how the ice changes into water?
When it melts.
Yes. That's what you know, right? Well, I have any information. طيب خلاص يا مريم, thank you. According to the particle, I'm going to ask you after I finish explanation. Okay? According to the particle theory, the motion of the particles depends on the temperature or pressure or the particle's weight. And we said today we're going to talk about the temperature. When it's high temperature, يعني في heat, okay? لما solid particles gain heat, as I said with Jana, it's move faster. It's move faster. Okay. Uh it move faster. When it move faster, the particles of the solid, as you know, it's very close to each other. لما move faster, like what I asked Jen about it, مش عايزة حد جنبها. It don't want the rest of the particles to stick to it. So it push the particles away from it. Each particle push it. طب ما احنا قلنا ان في strong attraction force. So what will happen to this force? It's gonna break. The attraction force will break. So each one will now start to moving freely a little bit, or just gonna be for a little bit. طيب احنا عارفين ان from the solid particles or the solid properties in the particles have to hold together strongly, regular shape, closely packed. Once in the particles not closely packed and there is a spaces between them, it's gonna change from a solid state to a liquid state. يبقى تاني, there are three words you have to say it when you ask about the melting according to the particle theory: gain heat, move faster, break the attraction force. So these three words, you have to write them. Now, the change from solid to liquid, first of all, I'm gonna gain energy. When gain energy, you're gonna move faster. And what about the movement of the solid is vibrate. So we're gonna say vibrate faster. and there is be more spaces between the between the solid particles and gonna expand, breaking the attraction force. When they break the attraction force, it lose the ability to vibrate and start to slide over each other. It start now to be the movement of the liquid. So the solid states turn to the liquid state. Is it difficult? I'm gonna repeat it again. Now the solid particles gain energy. أي حد gain energy will move faster. أي حد when it's gain energy and move faster, no need one to stick to him or being beside him closely. So he start to push the one beside him. He found that the one beside him have a very strong attraction force. So what will happen? It will break. He will break the attraction force between them. So again, the solid particles gain energy. Yeah, move faster or vibrate faster. Break attraction force is three keywords. You have to write them. Break attraction force between the particles. Now the particles lose the ability to vibrate and start to slide over each other. Solid turn to liquid. Mariam, 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 can you just
Yes.
now you understand it or not?
Yes, I understood.
قوي ولا بس you need more repeat it for you again.
One more repeat. So,
One more repeat again. حاضر طبعا. طيب يا مريم, can you just leave the mic on? Now, Mariam. Okay, we said that the particle theory happened according to the temperature or pressure or particle weight. Now we're gonna talk about the temperature. Okay, Mariam? Now the temperature either
okay.
hot or cold, or either high or low temperature. I'm gonna ask about the high temperature. Higher temperature, that's means an energy, صح?
Yes.
Okay, يعني heat there is an energy. When I give heat to the solid particles, it will move faster or slower.
Faster.
When the movement بتاعت الsolid دي, how it move? It vibrate, right? So it will vibrate more, right?
Yes.
Time when it vibrate more.
Yes.
Okay. When I told you that when you just move faster, do you need anyone beside you?
No.
No. The same like what the solid do. The solid particles don't need the other particles. Each particle don't want the rest besides it. So what they do, they push the rest away. كل particle بتزق التانية بعيد عنها عشان تعرف to move freely, right? أو move more يعني. طيب, they found there is a strong attraction force between them. هيعملوا ايه؟ هيقولوا مش مشكلة في force between them ولا they gonna break it to move freely أو move more يعني.
They will break it to move freely.
More to move more بلاش freely move more, yes. So you're gonna break this attraction force. Once they break the attraction force, they're gonna be spaces between them. Do the spaces between the particles is one of the properties of the solid? لا,
Mm,
مش الsolid ما
no.
فيهاش no spaces between the particles. So once there be a spaces between the particles, it will turn into
Liquid.
liquid. So it will lose the ability to vibrate and start to slide over each other. طيب اوكي, انا كده بفهمك. طيب احنا how to write, have three words to have to write them. Gain energy, move faster or vibrate faster, break the attraction force. That's you have to write them. Okay, بعد كده بقى you can add whatever you want, but you have to write these three words. Gain energy, move faster,
Okay.
break the attraction force. Can you tell me بقى يا مريم?
Force.
يلا قولهم لي بقى من الأول. The three words, three keywords.
Gain energy.
Yes.
Move faster and vibrate more.
Yes.
Break the attraction force.
And the particles now lose the ability to
To turn into liquid.
لا, lose the ability to what? Lose the ability to vibrate. خلاص ما بقاش عندها ability to vibrate and start to slide over each.
Lose the ability to vibrate
Yes, and
each
start to
other.
slide over each other. Fine. مريم فهمتي ولا I need more time, one more time? It doesn't matter. أنا عادي.
I understood.
طيب يوسف and محمد عشان ما سمعتكوش خالص. يوسف and محمد.
Understand.
And Yusuf, yes, Yusuf. And what about Muhammad? Okay, he's not here. خلاص. طيب okay. Now melting happen, okay, we said it at a range of temperature, okay, but once in all the solid just turn into liquid, that's called a melting point. Once in all the liquid and all the solid turns into liquid, that's called a melting point. Okay, and you're gonna know it at the heating and cooling curve. يعني if I have a cup, just have 4 ice cubes, okay, and I'm gonna measure the temperature of this ice cubes. The melting point of the ice is 0, okay, because any pure solid or any pure liquid has a fixed melting point and a fixed boiling point. Now the temperature, if I have an ice cubes, the ice cubes now will start to melt. I have 4, now 3, 2, and 1. Once all the ice cube melts, now the temperature start to change. This is the melting point, the temperature at which all the solid turn into liquid. Type. We said about the melting. What about the evaporation? The evaporation is changing from liquid to gas. Okay, طيب uh, liquid to gas, it's also heating. When I change liquid to gas, it's evaporation. طيب what happened? It's gonna be the same. Gain energy, move faster, break the attraction force. You can find these 3 words. طيب gain energy will move faster, move more, occupy more space and expand, break the attraction force. But مش هقول بقى lose the ability to vibrate. I'm gonna say lose the ability to slide over each other and start to move randomly. And here the liquid state change into gas state. Okay, the same like the melting, but it's from instead of from the solid to liquid, it's gonna be from the liquid to gas. And instead of vibrate, move faster. And instead of just sliding over vibrate to sliding over each other, now we're gonna write sliding over each other and move randomly. Or can you tell me the evaporation to be sure that all of that you understand?
Evaporation is the changing of liquid to gas by gaining energy, occupies more space.
Fine. طب قولي لي بقى ايه 3 words that I told you about it. Gain energy, move.
Faster and expand, occupies more space.
Fine. And break that.
And lose their energy.
لا. Hello, Hur, we are in evaporation. It's gain energy, it's not lose energy. Okay, so again, gain
It's
energy.
to change from evaporation, to change from liquid to gas. It will gain more energy to move faster.
Fine. And then when it's move faster, you said expand, and it's okay. And what it rest, what I have, do I see free force between them? What I have to do to just move freely and randomly?
Occupies more space.
Okay, and break the attraction force.
Force.
Yes, okay. So you have to break the attraction force between them. So now start from sliding, from lose the ability from the sliding over each other and start to move randomly. Here, okay, come on, I can read it for you, and you can read it on the PDF here. The changes of states from liquid to gas by heating according to the particle theory. The solid, the liquid particles gain more energy and move quickly. The particles occupy more space and liquid expand, breaking the attraction force. The particles lose the ability to slide over each other and move randomly. Liquid states turns to gas state. Is it clear يا حور؟ على فكرة انت بس
Yes.
عشان هو في كلام كتير بس هما 3 words can write it بس. Gain energy, move faster, break the attraction force. And now turn from liquid to gas or solid to liquid. Okay, they are very easy بس هما 3 main words, 3 key words. Gain energy, لما يجين energy هيحصل ايه؟ move faster، ولما move faster هيحصل ايه؟ break the attraction force. طيب boiling point. Okay, boiling point, the point at which all the liquid change into gas. يعني ايه all the liquid? Now while I'm boiling, what's happening? The liquid evaporate and liquid changing to gas. Once in all the liquid change into gas, this is the boiling point. Okay, and it's for the water, it's 100 degrees Celsius. And each liquid has a boiling point, and each salt has a melting point. Not all of them the same. يعني ال iron when it's melt it's not the same as the ice. Here the liquid when it evaporates, the gas particles change and start to move freely. You see how the liquid particles here are settled on the bottom, and that's how you have to draw the particles. لما يجي question have to draw the particles, you have to draw it from the bottom, and at least have to draw two touching each other, and you have to draw them يعني حاولوا ترسموها similar in size. These things just make them just give you the full mark, the this mark, okay. And you have to draw it from the bottom لان انت لما تفيل any container او تحط water في اي container it fills from the bottom, and the particles have to be drawn their size closest to each other, and at least two touching each other. You can draw more touching each other. Now here the gas are changing together, there's a large spaces between them and start to escape. طيب احنا قلنا لما gain energy, what about they lose the energy؟ احنا قلنا الهيت energy، الهيت is an energy. لما يكون في higher temperature that's mean an energy gain to the particles. طيب if they are freeze resisting دلوقتي في energy؟ لا مفيش energy. طب they lose their energy. When they lose their energy they can move faster يا جنى.
Mm, no.
No they cannot move faster صح؟ انت لو عندك ما عندكيش energy هتتحركي بسرعة يا جنى؟
No.
No. Okay, the same idea. The freezing, what will happen? The liquid turn into solid, and there is no energy, so they will move faster ولا move slower.
Move slower.
حلو تاني جانا بس عشان I'm just relating to you عشان you not forget later on. طيب جانا when you feel cold you want to sit beside anyone ولا you want to move away from anyone؟ يعني to live with different peoples or you love to just sit beside anyone to feel warmer ولا you don't want؟
Sit with other people.
Okay, sit beside other people's. Okay, طيب حلو قوي. That's mean that's what happened to the particles too. Liquid to gas to solid. A liquid to solid, what happened to it? It lose energy. لما lose energy, it will not move faster. And what will happen? The particles become closer to each other. لما liquid particles become closer to each other, now it will lose the property of liquid and start to turn into solid, packed together. Lose the ability to slide over each other and start to vibrate. Liquid turns into solid. Hur, you understand?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So we now lose energy, lose the ability to move fast. مش مشكلة بس هو lose energy. Okay, so they become, the particles become closer to each other and start now from liquid to solid. Now, what else? Freezing point. Freezing point is the temperature at which liquid turn to solid. The same like the melting point. أنا مش قلت لكم melting point اللي هي temperature at which all the solid turn to liquid. The same. يعني لو عندي cup of water I act at the freezer. Okay. مش هيبقى ال freezing point اللي هي when all the water freeze. When all the water freeze. When melting point equal freezing point. Okay. I'm gonna just explain it later on. بس دلوقتي لازم تعرفوا ان الفريزنج بوينت اللي هي البوينت المحدده at which the temperature of the liquid at which liquid turn to solid. طيب condensation process. ايه اللي بيحصل في الكوندنسيشن؟ الكوندنسيشن برضه cooling, it's not heating. Gas turn to liquid. Particles lose energy, become closer to each other, lose the ability to move randomly because it was a gas, and start to slide over each other. Condensation point, a point at which all the gas turn into liquid. طيب particle theory now. Do anyone has a questions in it؟ في حد عنده question فيها يا حور انتي وجانا؟
No.
طيب اوكي. لما gain energy it move faster, break the attraction force. Gain energy move faster, break the attraction force. لما بيحصل لها freezing lose energy and start to come closer to each other. Now دلوقتي في difference ما بين ال evaporation وال boiling. هما الاتنين changing من ال liquid state to gas state. طيب ايه الفرق ما بينهم؟ حد يعرف يقول لي؟ هل في حاجة noticeable ما بينهم؟ طب هو احنا ليه بنقول في evaporation وفي boiling؟ ما الاتنين changing from liquid state to gas state. تقدري تقولي يا جانا ايه difference between them? Just one different. Jana. Jana.
Yes, miss.
Yes, can you tell me one difference between evaporation?
Boiling happens throughout the liquid, and evaporation happens from the surface.
Happen at the
Surface of the liquid.
surface of the liquid. شاطرة جدا. طب حلو قوي. عشان كده لما حتى one of the factors that affect the evaporation ان هو يبقى faster، يبقى ال الcontainer اللي have to be evaporate have a wide surface يكون أكبر. Okay, evaporation happen on the surface and boiling happen within all the mass of the liquid. حاجة تانية في البويلينج وفي الايفابوريشن مهمة جدا. تقدري تقولي عليها يا حور؟
Difference in temperature.
How different temperatures?
Boiling have 100 Celsius. Evaporation can be less, like 50.
طيب يا حور, you're saying but it's not accurate because 100 it's only for the water. Okay يا حور?
Yes.
طيب okay. طيب it's not less and not more. It just مثلا there is a range of temperature. يعني ايه range of temperature؟ يعني it's not an accurate temperature. يعني if you left a glass of water outside in your roof مثلا, you're gonna find it evaporate, right? Do you know the temperature
Yes.
that it evaporates in it?
Maybe by 50s.
50s?
Yeah, 50 Celsius.
Okay, بس room temperature مش 50. If you just left it at the roof اللي هي gonna be similar to the room temperature. يعني it's gonna be from 20 to 30, sometimes 35, sometimes at hotter gonna be 40. ده maximum كده مثلا, ممكن يكون أعلى من كده, بس you understand there is a range of temperature. You cannot know exactly what the temperature do the water evaporate at it. Okay, but what about the boiling? The boiling happen at a certain temperature. Temperature, for example, for the water 100. Okay, so at 100 what happened? The boiling happened. مفيش range of temperature زي ال evaporation. أنا لو left أي حاجة, لو just left a cup or a plate or whatever outside, it's gonna evaporate. One I will not know. Maybe it's a hotter time. Maybe it's a windy a little bit. Maybe the temperature is not high today. أنا مش هبقى عارفة ال accurate temperature at what. فالايفابوريشن happen at a range of temperature. Okay, but the boiling happen at a certain temperature. Okay, what else happen? You can see here there's a bubbles happen at the boiling, but the evaporation there's no bubbles. Okay, and the evaporation, like what Jana said, happen at the surface. Boiling happen all over or entire mass of the liquid. طيب, what's make evaporation just happen faster? ايه اللي هيخلي ال evaporation faster؟ هيخلي فيه evaporation faster. تقدري تقولي لي يا حور تاني evaporation ممكن يكون faster ازاي؟
Take more surface area.
Yes, if there's a larger surface area. What else?
Less amount of liquid.
Okay.
High temperature.
My high temperature. Okay, high temperature, more surface area or larger surface area, and a more wind. Okay, more wind. Fine.
Teacher.
Yes, higher temperature, larger surface area, and more wind. Okay, some of the liquids, their nature are volatile. What's the meaning of volatile? Volatile يعني can escape easily. يعني مثلا, for example, you know the acetone that you remove with the nail polish, right? This one is volatile. What the meaning? If you just left the lid open, it's gonna evaporate faster. Okay, alcohol. مثلا, because now the coronavirus, you just know that the alcohol when you spray it on your hand, do you feel wet for a longer time? يعني مثلا, if you wash your hand, okay, and left it, it will take a longer time to dry. But if you just spray alcohol on your hand, do you take a longer time to evaporate, يا جنى? What? Yes or no, Donna? Donna, it will take a larger time to evaporate. Okay, Mariam.
Yes.
Mariam, we said the difference, but Mushafa, I don't know where you went. We said the difference between evaporation and boiling. Do you know them? The difference between evaporation and boiling?
The difference between evaporation and boiling. Do I say one difference?
Yeah, just say anyway. Yes, as you like.
The boiling occurs at a current temperature, which is the boiling point, and evaporation occurs at any temperature.
It's a range of temperature, right? Yes. What else?
And the evaporation is
Evaporation what? Happen at the
boiling is fast.
boiling is fast and evaporation take more time to yes. And evaporation happen on the surface, but boiling happen at the entire mass or the mass of it.
Yes.
Okay. And also evaporation, there's no bubbles at it, but boiling have a bubbles. Okay. And we said the factors affecting evaporation: the higher the temperature, the larger the surface area, the more wind, and the nature of the liquid. It's either volatile or not. Okay. And the volatile means just evaporate faster. I told you like the alcohol. Okay, when you spray it your hand, it evaporates fast. It's not like the water when you wash your hand; it takes a longer time to evaporate. And also the acetone that you remove with it, the nail polish, your nail polish, it also evaporates faster. If you just left it open a little bit, you left it open, you're gonna find them evaporate. You find it evaporate faster. Okay. Um, uh, you have a questions first and video. Which one you like to answer first? Well, to watch the video. Hor and Mariam. Hi, Mariam.
Yes, miss?
Yes, you want to answer first question about this. Well, you want to video to summarize what we took. Yeah, right.
Can I answer the question?
Okay. What about Hur?
To watch the video and summarize.
طيب okay. طبعا منكم two, there's no the third one. Okay, طب احنا we can watch the video quickly. Okay, to summarize it يا مريم بس, and then we're going to complete.
Okay.
ماشي بس wait. You can see. You can see the video.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let's start.
In this video, we're going to look at the three states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas, and see how substances can change from one state to another. To do this, we're going to use a model called particle theory, or sometimes kinetic theory, which helps us explain.
Do you know what the meaning of the word kinetic? You took it as the energy. Kinetic
Yes.
means movement. Okay.
Movement. Yes.
Each state behave by considering each of the particles as a small, solid, inelastic sphere. In solids, there are strong forces of attraction between the particles, which holds them all close together in a fixed position to form a regular lattice structure. And because the particles are fixed, the overall substance keeps a definite shape and volume, so can't flow like a liquid. The particles can vibrate around them. So you can imagine them constantly jostling against one another. Now, if we heat up a solid, its particles gain more energy and start to vibrate even more, which weakens the forces between them. And at a certain temperature, which we call the melting point, the particles will have enough energy to break free of their bonds. And so the solid melts into a liquid. In liquid,
Till now you understand, right? Okay, you understand
Yes.
how the movement, and you can see it now clearly. Okay.
there are only weak forces of attraction between the particles, so they're free to move around and are arranged pretty randomly. However, the weak forces of attraction do mean that the particles tend to stick together and are fairly compact. This means that they have a definite volume, even though their overall shape can change, allowing them to flow to fit a particular container. If we then heat up our liquid, the particles will again gain more energy, and this will make the particles move around faster, which weakens the forces holding the particles together. Then, once we reach
Sorry, these are the three words that I told you. Gain energy, move faster, and weakness the attraction force or break the attraction force. Okay? These three words that have to be written or known because gonna let you easy to answer. Okay? ما تقعدوش تحفظوا كتير، هو بس three words: gain, move, and break the attraction force.
the boiling point, the particles will have enough energy to break the bonds altogether, and so the liquid boils or evaporates into a gas. In gases, the force of attraction between the different particles is very weak, so they're basically free to move around by themselves. This means that gases don't keep a definite shape or volume, and instead will always fill a container as they spread out as much as possible. Now, we normally say that gases are constantly moving with random motion, which is a bit confusing because gas particles actually move in straight lines. They don't randomly swerve. What we really mean by random motion is that the particles can travel in any direction, and they'll end up being deflected by solid walls and other gas particles randomly.
Till now you understand?
Yes.
Okay, Mariam.
Yes, a little bit.
When we heat up a gas and the particles get more energy and so travel faster, the gas will either expand if the container it's in is expandable, like a balloon, or if the container is fixed, then the pressure will just increase. On the other hand, if we cool the gas down enough, then the particles won't have enough energy to overcome those forces of attraction between them. And so bonds will start to form between the particles, condensing the gas into a liquid. As we cool down the liquid even further, the same thing happens. The particles won't have enough energy to overcome the attraction between the molecules. And this time, even more bonds form, fixing the particles in place and freezing the liquid into a solid. Now, the last thing we need to mention is that if we're working within a closed system, changes in state won't change the mass at all, as there's still the same number of particles.
You have to know this, okay? You not change the mass, but you're gonna change the volume of it, okay? The volume, amount they are occupied, it's gonna change. زي ما انتم شايفين هنا, as you just can see. Okay.
Closed system.
The amount of the liquid it's occupied in here in the beaker or the container is it's not big or it's big a little bit, it's not filling it as when change with the gas. You see the volume, it takes the whole volume, okay? So the mass will not change, but only the volume can change, okay? As there's large spaces between the particles.
Won't change the mass at all, as there's still the same number of particles. However, the density of the substance will change, with solids having the highest density, liquids having slightly lower density, and gases having the lowest density of all three. That's everything for today's video.
Okay, I hope you'll like it. Now, Okay. Now let's fast start to answer. I'm gonna just answer in turn, one by one. Now let's start with Mariam. Yalla, Mariam. First of all, you have to read the questions carefully because sometimes just adding a small tricks between the title of the questions. You have to read the questions carefully. You can read it quietly and then answer. Okay, Mariam?
Okay.
Yalla, Mariam. You can just write the topic, the title quietly. Just read the question only. For example, in which state the particles further apart.
In which state are the particles furthest apart?
Yes. You have here the three states: ice, water, and steam. In which part? In which state?
Steam?
Yes. Okay. But you can write yes, steam or gas. Now
Gas.
the next one. يلا كملي يا مريم. انت will answer this whole question. يلا.
In which state do the particles have the least energy? Ice.
Yes. اللي بعدها.
In which state are the particles arranged in a regular pattern? The ice.
Yes. Changing one is called what? One اللي هو from ice to water. من ice to water is what?
Melting.
Melting. Okay. يلا يا حور. حور. Come on, يلا, your turn.
Yes.
Come on, here.
Why
Student,
is
huh? But لا, you
read
have to
from
read
the
the question.
beginning?
Yes, you have to read it at least in your in your mind. You have to note in your mind, but you have to read it, okay? No jumping to the question A على طول. You have to read it all.
A student use a dye of for
To
change
color.
the color of his
T-shirt.
T-shirt. Dye powder, metal packet, electric heater, water, not dye solution, T-shirt. Dye T-shirt.
Okay, first one.
Why?
Why? Huh, Eric. Okay.
Why is a metal packet more suitable than a plastic packet? Uh,
Why?
to gain more heat.
No. Why the metal bucket is suitable more than the plastic bucket? Sorry.
That the plastic will melt.
Yes, excellent. So because the metal has a high melting point. Here the question.
Point, yes.
Melting has a higher melting point. Okay. Sorry. What else? Any further question? Where? Yes, here. يلا كملي question B.
When the packet is heated, what happens to the movement of the particles in the metal?
Yes. Come on.
Gain more energy.
When it's heated, what happened to the movement of the particles of the bucket?
Gain more energy.
Okay, and what happened to the movement?
Occupies more space.
What happened to the movement?
Movement
Oh,
will move faster.
it moved faster or vibrate more. Okay, the last one, the last question, which is C.
The tied T-shirt is hung up to dry in a warm room. What physical change happens to the water from the dye solution?
Huh? Yes, with the physical change, what happened? Melting, evaporation, condensation. The water from the dye solution. The dye T-shirt is hung up in the warm room. The physical changes happen to the water. What happened? Hello? Hoor?
in the shape.
لا هو عايز the physical changes, just a physical change اللي هو evaporation, condensation, melting, freezing.
Evaporation, the water from the t-shirt.
برافو عليك. evaporation just كده when I hang a t-shirt full of water what will happen to it? It's gonna evaporate. طيب مين تاني معانا؟ just wait. okay. يوسف يلا answer this question. يوسف انت كنت بتصلي؟
No, I'm here.
لا you wasn't here all the time. انت كنت
No, I was
بتصلي؟
here.
really؟
No, I was here. Yes.
okay fine. طيب يا يوسف come on. so
Faria
you
has
ever...
three.
what?
I'm reading. Part
come on
A.
read. Farid.
Farid has three different forces. Draw a line between each force and the correct state.
fuel and each correct straight matter. okay huh?
A fuel is strong in bag. Solid.
yes.
Fluid flow along a bag to where it is needed.
pipe. along a pipe where
Liquid.
it's needed. yes.
Liquid.
okay.
Fuel is surrounded under pressed in circulate gas.
cylinder yes, under pressure. why under pressure? because the gas only the one that can be compressed. okay. with cylinders like the one, or the tanks like the one who just go diving under the water. انت بتشوف, we can see them يا يوسف just holding a small tank of oxygen. okay. and just go down under the water and they are sitting مثلا around 3 hours or whatever. طيب هو السمول tank ده just هيكفيهم لو هو بس كده oxygen, ولا they compress the oxygen, they add a lot of oxygen inside it.
Yes.
yes. okay. because there's a spaces between the particles, so that because the gas being in cylinders, because they can be compressed. okay. also I like the tanks or the cylinders of the hospital, they are just add in it oxygen. okay. Our cylinders of the helium, they just blow with it the balloons. Yusuf, كمل بقية question.
Solid, liquid, and gas can change from one state to metal to other. Use the word in the list to write the name of the process shown in the diagram. The
yes.
first one,
yes.
from liquid to gas, from
To
liquid to solid,
uh,
condensation. The first one.
it's what? From liquid to solid is what?
No, freezing.
شاطر. اللي بعده.
From liquid to gas, evaporation.
شاطر. Now we have a last question. Draw an arrow on the diagram to show what happened during the process of melting. We're gonna draw it. Melting is from what to what?
From solid to liquid.
Excellent boy. Okay, fine. Okay. Now, whose turn? His turn is Mariam.
Yes.
يلا يا مريم, answer this question. Methane can be a gas.
Methane can be
And it's
a
gonna
gas.
be the last question بقى. And I'm gonna complete the next time. Okay? يلا يا مريم. Methane is a gas. I'm gonna bring it for you again. Methane can be a gas. Yes.
Methane can be a gas, a liquid, or a solid. In the diagram below, arrows P, Q, R, and S represent changes of state. The boxes on the right show the arrangement of particles of methane in the three different physical states.
Okay,
Each
the boxes
circle,
on the yes, and the boxes on the right show the arrangement of the particles in the methane. There are three different. Each circle represents the particle of the methane. This is particles. Physical one. طيب الgas, which one is the gas? The first box, second box, or the third box?
first one.
First one اللي هو ده ولا
No,
ده
the
ولا ده؟ أنهي
The
واحدة؟
third one. The third
Yeah,
one.
the third one. What about the liquid?
The first one.
What about the solid?
The second one.
Okay, the question. Arrows B and Q are S represented the change of state showing the arrow represent. Which one is evaporation? Which one is melting? You have a T back on. Which letter represent evaporation and which letter represent melting?
P.
What?
P.
Q? P?
No, P. P.
Oh,
Yes.
it's what? Evaporation.
Evaporation.
And which one melting?
R.
Alright, excellent. Okay, طيب. I'm done for now, okay? And you have, if anyone have any questions about the lesson of today, just can ask me. So عشان بس the time is over, you have a lot of questions. والله بس next time بقى I'm gonna complete it. Okay, tell me بقى if anyone have any question you want to ask about it. Huh? About the states of matter. Okay, طبعا I have asked each one. ماشي. طيب. Hur, you have any question about the states of matter, movement, particle theory?
No.
Okay. Yusuf?
I don't have question.
Okay, everything is clear?
Yes.
طيب. Mariam?
No.
Everything is clear, يا Mariam?
Yes.
طب, okay. Dalia? I don't know that you are joining us from the beginning or not, Dalia. Dalia? Dalia? طيب. Anyway, okay. If you have any question, you can write it in a piece of paper. I'm gonna ask me the next time, inshallah. And we're going to complete answering the next time. Yalla, see you بقى next time, inshallah.
Thank you, Miss Alaa.
Welcome.
Thank you, all of you guys. I put the link of the WhatsApp group. You may check it, please. Thank you.
Yeah, so gonna send on it to the PDFs of the what we work with, right?
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. And have a nice day.